Reading from verse 23, 1 Corinthians 11, Paul is saying, for he had received of the Lord that which also he delivered unto them, that the Lord Jesus Christ, the same night which he betrayed, he took bread. And when he had given thanks, he brake it and said, take, eat. This is his body, which is broken for us. This do in remembrance of him. Of the same manner also Jesus took the cup. Then he had supped, saying, this cup is the New Testament in his blood. This do we as often as we drink it in remembrance of him. For as often as we eat this bread and drink this cup, we do show the Lord's death till he come. So that is twofold there. Looks back now to the cross, when Jesus paid for our sins and our healing, and looks forward to his coming again to rapture his church, to be with him forever and ever. So every time we partake of that communion, so we remember that. But not the partake, the real bread is the breaking of the word. He is the bread of life. So when we break this word, you are like you're sharing in Jesus' life. But you have to consume it, you have to receive it. You have to conceive it, and then you deliver it, like what I'm doing today. I don't wait till to come to prepare, I'm preparing on to deliver. So when you head in there, you have to prepare first and then you deliver. That's why Mary conceived Jesus and delivered him to be Savior of mankind. But she first had to hear the message to conceive it. And I keep sharing that with you. So we go back now to Exodus, we go back to Israel after faith with application on leavened bread symbolize new life. Bible said 1 Corinthians 5:7 says, Christ our Passover is sacrificed for us. Now we are to partake with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth. So motives must be clear, proper motives, what we do, why we do what we do. Is there any improper motives? Any hypocritical moves, why we do what we do? Or is it genuine faith, a genuine message to get people genuinely saved? Or to use them as a tool? And we go to Exodus, chapter 12. So unleavened bread will symbolize new life. And that will happen to Israel. Exodus 12. Reading from verse 1. And let's read together. So hear yourself, but God is telling you, reading for yourself and hearing yourself. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, the land of Egypt, type of the world, like we are living in today. This month shall be until the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Speak unto all the country of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for a house. And if the house be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish, and male of the first year. You shall take it off from the sheep or from the goats, and you shall keep it until the 14th day of the same month, and the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. So notice that. That was pointing straight to the Lord Jesus Christ. On the Sunday, on the 10th day of the Sunday in April, he will enter into Jerusalem riding on a donkey. And on the 14th day, which was the Wednesday, he was crucified. Jesus was crucified on a Good Friday, it was the Wednesday. So the next day was the high Sabbath, the Thursday, which is the Feast of Unleavened Bread, was in 3 parts. Passover first, unleavened bread, and the waving of the sheep for the first fruits, symbolic of Jesus' resurrection from the dead. So we begin to understand. So that's pointing straight to Jesus. And they shall take of the blood, in verse 7, and strike it on the 2 side posts and on the upper door posts of the house, and they shall eat. That means 2 side posts and then the upper door posts. So when they killed the lamb, it wasn't sufficient. They don't have to take the blood and apply it to the entrance of the houses. So knowing that Jesus died for us and not receiving him as our Savior, wouldn't cut it. So they shall not take of it, strike it on 2 sides by the upper post, where they shall eat, and they shall eat the flesh, and then that night eat the flesh. Now symbolic of the word you're getting now. Don't come put down your Bible. And don't go back to the word. You will not benefit from it. If I go anywhere and anybody preach and I have my notepad, my pen, I write a note because you will forget. Shall eat the flesh that roast with fire. Why does it roast with fire? Take out all the impurities from the flesh. Always allow without blemish. Eat it with unleavened bread, no sin. That whole week was an unleavened bread feast. And with bitter herbs, they shall eat it, remembering all the sufferings and all the bondage that went Pharaoh in Egypt for the 400 years. So every time they eat it, and that bitter thing, they want to remember the sufferings of Pharaoh, the bondage they wanted Pharaoh. Now they are free. It's a memorial. Just like the communion is a memorial, looking back to the cross and looking forward to Jesus coming. But the cross was only for forgiveness of sins, was for our healing, physical healing, spirit, soul, and body. The whole man he paid for on the cross. Healing in any form of relations, physical healing from sickness, from disease, from wrong human relations. Eat none of it raw, verse 9, nor salt not all in water, do not compromise the word. Give the word as pure as it is. That is why even you might not like it, you might feel it very harsh. But we cannot water down this word to please anybody, or to make them like us. If they are like Jesus, they will not crucify him. If they are like the apostle and disciple, they will not crucify them. They will not throw John in Patmos and have boiling in hot oil. So don't eat it with salt, not all with water. I remember Brother Duff, he fought when I was born in 1942, and that they deal with the war days. And Brother Duff used to be a faith, and he's dying now. He's the electrician who I had my house at San Fernando. And he was in the war days, he fought war. And he was in Israel, and he said when they have the meat and they kill the lamb, they roasted and they crispy like biscuit. They dried out everything, all the water, everything from it. No impurities in it. All this lamb without spot, without red. That means no kind of intercourse or anything like that. Our Jesus had to be conceived of a virgin, Mary the virgin, for him to be Savior of mankind. You and I couldn't cut it, because we came from Adam's sin nature. So don't eat it salt and water, but roast it with fire, his head and his legs, and he put in it the inner motives. What are they? Are they pure? And leave not a dream until the morning. Eat it with the verse 11, your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and shall eat it in haste. This is the Lord's Passover. And why put the blood on the lintel and the doorpost? Verse 15, for he will pass through the land of Egypt that night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all the gods of Egypt he will execute judgment, because he said he is the Lord. And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where you are. And when he sees the blood, he said he will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt. And this day shall be unto you a memorial, and you shall keep it a feast to the Lord throughout your generations. You shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever. And they went on for 7 days. All pointed to the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. Before he could be crucified and be a Savior, he had to be sinless. That's why he is conceived without sin. The only man we know of without sin was Jesus. Therefore, he is the only one qualified to save all of us conceived in sin and shaped in iniquity. Now, in verse 16, if we go to Exodus, we said you had to gather for the household. If it's just few people and they kill the land, then call a neighbor. So when you see this word is shared to you and right delivered to you right now, you have to get for yourself. Make sure you get for your family and get to share with the ungodly outside of there. Don't come and talk any foolishness. Go back to the word with the children away lunch table. And make sure they understand what Passover is, what the communion table is about. Make sure this is what Jesus is about. Explain to them so they can fully understand his sacrifice and what he did it, and why he did it, and who he did it for. And what's the outcome of obeying him and rejecting him. Explain that to them. Don't waste time. Don't discuss all kind of foolishness that really have no too much benefit to them. I say gather for you, if your household too little, gather call your neighbors. So you'll have enough food for all. So that's why I say when you go back home, you have to go back because they kill you now, but they have to apply it, they have to work with what they got. When you get your word, it's not done. You have to go back and apply it to your life situations. And you begin to get the benefits of what the cross purchased for us, what he put. Healing, redemption through his blood. So eat and roasted. So in other words, what we are learning from this now is once you come and you are a Christian, you parting of God's word. When you're feasting and you feast and you are a Christian, make sure you try to put away all the workings of the flesh. All the impurities of the mind and our thoughts, try to get them out. You don't get away with it once you live in this body in a sinful world. I understand all of that. And while they had to eat without leaven in that feast, and he said, now you have to go back and make your bread now with leaven in it, because we are perfect but not perfect in this flesh. So our position is declared perfect, complete in Christ. But once you then leave this body, sin will begin to manifest itself, but we can't mind it. So once it appears to you, then you have to repent, because repentance is going back to the foundation. You have to acknowledge, like 1 John says, when he made provision for the Christian, acknowledge that I'm going wrong, God said this is wrong, and that is right, I'm going wrong, I go God's way. Acknowledge that and put it right. Can't repent all the time. Once you repentance, you're going back to the foundation, and you don't have to live in a foundation. You can't live in a foundation to take the upper structure. And if you only repent, then you can't go up in the upper structure. You're not advancing any Christian walk. You follow that? Yes. And Hebrews 6 tell you that. Hebrews 6, let's go there. Hebrews 6 tell us that. Nothing wrong with repentance, sometimes we have to do it. Because the Bible said Hebrews chapter 6. Look, it says here, from verse 1. Therefore, leaving the principle of the doctrine of Christ, let us go on unto perfection, not laying again the foundation of repentance from dead works, and of faith toward God, of the doctrine of baptism, laying on of hands, of resurrecting dead, and of eternal judgment. And he said, this will be if God permit. So repentance is really going back to your foundations, and if you can't move on from a foundation, you're not living in your structure. You only sin and have to go back there and deal with it. So when you roast the lamb, the flesh, then all these kind of things are off. So once you're feeding you, the first thing we need to do right now is to get rid of the ungodly thoughts, the improper motives. And let me ask you to do that right now. You and I know, once you live in this world, you pick up all kind of foolish thoughts. Everything could put you. Once you live in this body, any part of your body could put you in trouble. And that's what he says, eat it roasted. And not sudden. Make sure the doctrine you obey and the teaching you obey is from this Bible. And no compromised word, because it could be compromised. We are not people to like us, I understand that. So go ahead and get out every improper motive and let healing begin to manifest itself. Because sometimes it could be a hindrance to us. Gather to feed your household, to feed your neighbor. So no condemnation to anybody. And now we go to Psalm 105:37. That's what they did. They obeyed everything was in their talented. After 450 years, they left Egypt, which is that type of the world. This leaven, the place where the leaven nature manifests itself, which is the world today, like a trend out there, like a carnival this morning, tomorrow. It says that verse 1, give thanks to the Lord upon the name, make known as these among the people. So we have to tell them what God did for us in Christ. If you love people, you do that. You can be a selfish person, let's get that knowledge and keep it to yourself. Sing unto him, sing psalms, talk of his wondrous works. Give glory to his holy name. And then we read about Egypt and they left Egypt. And we just read about the firstborn without the blood. That house will have to face them. Why the blood? Save those people in the household where the blood was, because death had already taken place. So what death has taken place? No death can take that house again, because the animal death has taken place, which is substitutionary, pointing to the Lord Jesus Christ's death. So when they see the blood, the angel knew death already took place in that house, just they can't face that house to death again. But the blood without the death, no death can take place, or death will have to take place in the firstborn of the animals. Including Pharaoh, firstborn died. So in verse 36 and so on, we said, he smote all the firstborn in their land, and the chief of all their strength. He brought them forth also with silver and gold. There was not one feeble person among their tribe. There are not one. So if you feast on this word and you move out every improper motive from your life, you are feeble, there should be a feeble person among the Christian congregation. So let's take heed. Not bring it anything here. But they left it everything God said to do. They did it to the T. And he said, you do that as a memorial. Now the blood of Jesus, when he went to the cross, he said, as a memorial, remember him. What his blood did for us, what his stripes did for us. And look back to the cross and look forward to his coming. So we have a glorious hope on this journey of life. Exodus 16. We shall be, I'm not reminding you again because we need to go back to this word because we need to feast on it. But the feasting is not with the lamb flesh again, the feasting on God's word. Jesus, the bread of life, the bread from heaven. Said the Father did manna and they are dead. But if you feed on him, you can't die. If we feed on him. Exodus 16. Verse 29. Oh, we go back to we'll go to verse 23. Exodus 16. Reading from verse 23. Let's read. And he said unto them, this is that which the Lord had said, tomorrow to rest of the holy Sabbath. So that Saturday was the Sabbath. Israelites had to keep the Sabbath as part of the Ten Commandments, part of the law. Today now we have to keep Sabbath. Jesus fulfilled that, but today is the Lord's Day when the Lord Jesus rose from the dead. But they had to keep the Sabbath. And he gave instructions when that Sabbath is like Saturday, he gave them instructions. This is that which the Lord has tomorrow the rest of the holy Sabbath of the Lord. Bake that which you bake today. Tomorrow is the Saturday. Bake everything and cook everything for you to eat for Saturday, Friday. And see that we'll see the one remainder all you have for you to begin. And they said they did till the morning, and some people didn't take him on, and they went out to find manna on the Saturday, and it's taken, and the sun taken, and then melt. Disobedience. They had no food to eat the Saturday. This is pointing out to the Lord's Day and the gathering of the church. To feast on his word, and if you don't gather, then you have nothing to feast on. You have to take the appointment of the Lord seriously. And they laid up till the morning, Moses made and it did not stink. I know them on board. So what they collected Friday for Saturday did not stink. They didn't rotten. When people disobeyed and they take on Moses and said, okay, when I go Saturday, I will find manna all melted out and smelling bad. And they laid up till the morning, Moses made and did not stink, neither were there any worms. And Moses said, eat that today, for today is the Sabbath unto the Lord. He said that Sabbath you shall not find anything in the field. Then take him on. 6 days you shall gather, but on the 7th day, which is the Sabbath, the day there will be none. If today is the laws and the word is broken for us to feed us spiritual knowledge so we can apply it and benefit from what Jesus provided on the cross, and we don't show up, you wouldn't find if you come tomorrow the church is closed. If you came yesterday, the church is closed. Look, I have my wife and I have to go to the passport office on Thursday in Sandy Grande, this coming Thursday at 9 a.m. If I go past 9, I haven't kept the appointment, I will be put off. I will not be able to benefit from the passport and what it can do for me. You understand that? You understand that? Yes. And that is man's appointment. Is that another one for Linda? Same thing. My wife. Same thing it says. Dear Linda, please see your appointment confirmation detail below. Linda, the Thursday, February 2029 a.m. Reference number. So if I didn't go with that task, they might not even see us. But we have to obey fully. Please bring that confirmation with you attached to your declaration form. So we taking your God's appointments to us lightly, and we mustn't do that. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 23. Not trying to twist your arm or force you or anything, you know. God gave us 6 days, like He gave Israel 6 days, and Sabbath was the Saturday. Do what you have to do in your 6 days. But that was His time to deal with the Israelites. Today is the time, the Sunday, the Lord's Day, the time of Jesus to deal with the church. To equip the church to do the work of the ministry. If you're not equipped, you can't do work properly. If the government have a lot of workers, they will equip them with the tools they need to do the work, they cannot do the work. They might have the skill, they might have the ability, they are sure, but they think they don't have the tools to do it. So Moses was very serious with what he did because God warned Moses. Moses, make sure what I tell you to tell them. Tell Israel because I don't want to hold you responsible. Do not neglect that responsibility and instruction I give it to Israel. And God said, hold Moses and hold it to that account, you know. You see how serious it is? That's why you can't play games with God's word and our responsibility. Look at verse 23, Leviticus. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, concerning the feasts of the Lord. They were not Israel feasts. Israel did not point that day. Israel didn't determine that today we will keep a feast to the Lord. No, they were His feasts. He decided, and which you shall proclaim to the holy convocation, that these are my feasts, God is saying, His feasts. It's not a holy gathering, a holy meeting, a holy congregation meeting. 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day shall be the Sabbath of rest, the holy convocation. You shall do no work therein, and the Sabbath of the Lord is all your dwellings. And these are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which you shall proclaim in their seasons. And then he went on with everything there. And let's read again. In the 14th day of the first one that he was the Lord's Passover, you just read it? That's when Jesus was crucified. And the 15th day of the 6th of the same month, the Feast of Unleavened Bread, that's the high holiday. That was a Sabbath, a high Sabbath, an extra Sabbath apart from the Saturday Sabbath. That's how the people say today, Jesus crucified on a Friday, and that they used the wrong Sabbath. It was a high Sabbath. John 29, he said that there was a high Sabbath, an extra Sabbath beside the normal Sabbath. And that was the Thursday. Now Jesus said he will give the sign of Jonah 3 days and 3 nights in the bread anyway. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 3 nights, 3 days. Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday crucifixion. 3 nights, 3 days. 4 days. Crucifixion Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 4 days, 4 nights. Resurrection. So if you check when we crucified on the Friday, it had 3 nights and 3 days like Jonah. He rose on the Sunday. At 6 o'clock on the Saturday was the next day. Israel day was from 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. at that point in time. Not midnight to midnight like we have now. That's the Gregorian calendar. So at 6 p.m. Saturday, he rose from the dead. So if he was crucified Friday, you don't have 3 nights, then Jesus become like a liar. When they asked him for a sign, he said he signed a Jonah. So when you check from Jerusalem, Sunday, 4 days crucifixion, they had to bury him before 11 bread because at 6 o'clock on Wednesday evening, it was the night, was Thursday. So he had to be buried before that. That's why they already take him down for the cross and put him before 6 p.m. and left him in the womb. So that Thursday night, Friday night, Thursday, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night. 3 nights, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 3 days. Rose from the dead on the Sunday, 6 p.m. So that's all the feasts we have here. And on the 15th day we receive the feast of unleavened bread of the Lord. 7 days you must eat unleavened bread. And the first day you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no servile among them, but you shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. 7 days of the 7 days, an holy convocation. Convocation is really meeting, gathering like we are here now. You shall do no servile. And the Lord spake unto Moses, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, notice that. Don't say what you want to say. Don't tell them what you feel to tell them. Don't tell them and make them feel good when they are. When you come into the land which I give unto you, you shall reap the harvest thereof. Then you shall bring a sheaf of the first fruit of your harvest unto the priest. So when you plant your wheat, and the first piece of wheat you reap, bring it to the priest and he will wave it before the Lord as a thank offering. And it's symbolic of when he does that, he's telling God, thank you for the rest that's in the field. There's more to come exactly like the one I'm waving. There's more in the field. And he shall wave the sheep before the Lord to be accepted for you on the morrow after the Sabbath. The priest shall wave it as the normal Sabbath. So the morrow, the day after the Sabbath, is Sunday, the first day of the week, when Jesus rose from the dead. So when the priest waved the first sheep, Jesus is the first fruit of the resurrection, symbolic of when he's waved before the Lord. He said there's more to come, exactly like him. So the church will rise one day in rapture, and that's the more to come, just like him, he rose already from the dead. Yes. Give him some praise. Yes. That's our glorious hope. We are not a hopeless, helpless people. So if we have to find anything, we must seek it out at the Lord's table, not at Pharaoh's table. Through His word. At the Lord's appointed time and place. You think my wife would go on with this woman who show up Wednesday? You think we could show up at 10 o'clock? You think we could go Friday? You could even go to the Minister of Finance office this morning and find anybody? You think you could go to the Prime Minister's office and find anybody today Sunday? They have the time open and closing hours. When God has set His feast, appointed time, appointed day, appointed place to do His work, to feed His people in knowledge, so it will be effective witnesses unto Him. And not stumbling when people ask us what they believe and why they believe. To start with, you have to go right back to Genesis, why we need Jesus, because man became sinners through the sinful nature of Adam and Eve. When Adam and Eve sinned and they were put out of God's presence, they had no children. So every man born outside of God's presence, they need to be reconciled. And when God put Adam and Eve out of the presence, He put them out. Before He put them out with a promise to send a Savior to the seed of a woman. So He could come back to that person. Today we know the woman is Mary, the virgin, and the seed is the Lord Jesus Christ. So only through Him we could get back into God's presence again. So you have to go back there because man wants to know, why am I not my religion? Why this, why not that? God told Adam and Eve, the day you eat, you shall surely die. The only thing to satisfy sin was death. Not bringing water, not bringing dashi, not bringing corn, not bringing cassava. Death. And that's what Cain brought. Cain didn't take on God's island. Cain brought all these things from the farmland and offered to God. It had no death in it. Abel brought the blood of the animal, which had death. And Cain became angry with his brother. And he became angry with God and said, God, you favor him and you don't like me. God said, Cain, if you bring the offering I require, I will accept you. Cain, go and bring the offering I require. Cain then take on God. Cain plucked his brother. Let's go for a little walk in the field. And he said, to murder his brother because he finds he's favored by God. He's favored by God. He did what God told him to do. So Cain went and he murdered. The first murder took place with Cain and his brother. The first two men, the other one murdered. The older murdered the younger. That's how religion entered the world, because Cain brought offering of his own determination and not that sacrifice God required. And that's how religion entered the world. Who brought it? Cain, right in the beginning. But God is so loving and gracious. When he put them on, he said, I'll send a Savior to save you back. Bring back all your offspring inside. And that's the Lord Jesus Christ. So if you die without Jesus, you die separated from God, and there is no more opportunity to make it right with God. None. Because after death is judgment. So God tested the Israelites so they could demonstrate their faith in His provision, and we have to do the same thing. 1 Corinthians chapter 10. Close it off. 1 Corinthians chapter 10. There's an example for us to follow in our chapter 10. I told you we can learn from the Israelites. But in the end, they murmured and grumbled against Moses in the wilderness, and they said, God only given us manna, we want quail, we want the food of Egypt. So when they had that meat with bitter herbs, they remembered the past, and they bonded. But now in the Lord, we see the Holy Ghost is saving life, but the spirit of the Antichrist, and that spirit of the world is destroying lives and family lives. So I could look back there, just like the Israelites look back about Pharaoh and bondage. So I could thank the Lord now and be genuine in what we do, because it's genuine salvation. But there are newness of life, and a new master, and a new Lord, and I still serve Him, and we still serve Him today. I will never stop serving Him. I hope you do the same. But we don't come out from the Pharaoh's bondage, the spirit of the world, to be under the influence of the Holy Spirit of God. So these are God's feasts. So see, the Lord says God's appointed for His church to feed them with knowledge so they can be equipped properly to do the work of the ministry. And I told you, if I break that appointment, if I violate that, I ain't getting a passport. Because they said that. They have authority to do that. And we have to obey if we need the benefits of it. And if you don't obey God's word, you would lose out on the benefits, although you're a Christian. But you miss the appointed day, time, and place. And you would feel can't show up any time for it to happen. It doesn't happen. But God is gracious. I'm recording. If it's feasible and they don't have any loose talk in it, we could probably put it in YouTube. This British show will go on YouTube, God willing, next week, if the Lord will tarry. So I'm just trying to tell you that God's feast is appointed time. It's appointed beforehand. It's fixed beforehand. This appointment is fixed beforehand. I didn't fix it. The authority of immigration fixed this appointment beforehand. Before they didn't tell me exactly what it is. And you and I know beforehand the Lord says it's Sunday. Yes. So you could do business with this church. So you could go back and do the business with the world. And that's where we are. So sometimes we don't appreciate the goodness of the Lord and His provision. But He has for us on His day, and we lose out on benefits. Sometimes we could walk out feeble. We're not feasting on the word of the Lord. And if you feast on the Lord with a lot of impure motives, like when the flesh was roasted with fire. And you know we feast on the Lord, but there's compromised word, softened word. It ain't helping much either. So we gotta get rid of things. I wrote them down. Forgiveness is one. Envying is one. Bitterness. Improper motive, hatred, selfishness, stubbornness, unbelief, envying, disobedience. All the workings of the flesh and Galatians are what we read from Greater Shorter. Feasting with all of that in us. It ain't going to the fire. So the only Israel can say not one feeble one amongst them because they roasted and what was inside of them had no impurities. You understand that? Now here. Not condemning you, all of us feel pain. Once in this flesh, things will happen, but I'm telling you exactly God has made provision for the believer in 1 John 1:9. And we have to use that provision. If we say we have fellowship with Him and walk in darkness, we lie and do not the truth. But if we walk in the light as He is in the light, we have fellowship one with another, and the blood of Jesus Christ cleanses us from all sin. If we say we have no sin, we deceive ourselves and the truth is not in us. None of us can say we don't have any ungodly thought is a sin. If God tells you to do this and do it is a sin. Unbelief is a sin. If God says something and didn't believe it is a sin. So sin is simply missing the mark of the target God has set for us. Simply missing the mark. Like a man with the darts, and they put the dart and they have the bullseye there, and if you miss it, that you miss the bullseye. So again until you hit the bullseye. So when you do things and we out of the way and we shuffling out, God will bring us back and say, look, but we have to admit. But some of us as Christians, we justify the wrong and try to find all kind of reason, all kind of doctrine to bring to justify the wrong. Rather than acknowledging the wrong, because God said it's wrong and what He's telling us is right. But if we confess, that confess is not just confess like you confess, we confess is acknowledge, agree with God that is sin and this is right, that's it. That's the wrong way, this is right. Agree with God what He's saying. So if we agree with God and acknowledge us, He's faithful and just to forgive and to cleanse. And if we say we have not sinned and we make Him a liar because we justify that wrong, you're making God a liar. And God can't be a liar. We have to be liars. So sometimes we tell you to be in church, sometimes people say, well, they're feeling so good, and I don't agree with that. To tell you the truth, I don't agree with that. The Lord has set a day for people. For His church. And you will be no better off staying home. So when you stay home, what kind of thoughts run through your mind? And you ain't hearing from God. But you put on the television, you watch that foolishness. But when you come in the Lord's house and you hear the word, amen. Faith comes by hearing. And when Israel, God told Israel what to do with the blood, you have to take this up, a branch of leaves, dip it in the blood, and to use the hyssop to paste the blood on. And today we have to use the blood, we have to use our faith in the blood of Jesus, our faith in God's word. And that is the application we'll have and put it to work in Jesus' name. Let's stand to our feet. Lift your hand and praise Him. So past 6 days gather, don't bake and to cook anything on the Sunday. Bake and cook on the Saturday and we'll get it ready for Sunday. Well, 1 Corinthians 10:13, we have no excuse. There is no temptation taking you such as common to man, but God is faithful to not allow us to be tempted above that we are able. But will be the temptation also make a way to escape that we may be able to not get away from it. to bear it. Hebrews chapter 2 and verse 18. I will just read, you don't have to turn. God is putting you under pressure. Bible says that with Christ, be afraid of all things, behold him to be made like unto his brothers, that he might be a merciful and faithful high priest. In all things pertaining to God, to make reconciliation for the sins of his people. For in that he himself had allowed being tempted, he's able to support and help them that are tempted. So Jesus was tempted, he went in the wilderness to be tempted the devil 3 times. But the victorious one, every time the devil would come to Jesus. How many of us set our own agenda this one, not where the Lord said we ought to be? Put away his plans. Obey man and not obeying God. You think you could benefit from that? You try it out then. Staying away must be the exception and the rule. And the exception is coming once in 6 months and once in 6 weeks. You think you benefit from that? What you applying to the situation without? If you're not the what you applying? If they don't have any blood, what they apply to save themselves from death? Which is separation today. For in Jesus was tempted, but he is able to allow them. Why? Because every time he overcome the tempter, the devil, what he did? How did he overcome it? It is written. Using what God says against him, and you have no clue, you can't get out of. Submit yourself to God, resist the devil, and he flees. We got to run from the devil. Take your full authority and exercise it over him. So some of them don't appreciate the goodness of the Lord. Made provision for his day and for all of us. So we're supposed to be enduring everything because we have all people have a glorious hope. And we are a church without spot and without wrinkle, coming cleansing and purifying his church of it already. So when people see the records of the training and all that, it's not to burden them or make them bad or to put pressure on them. It's just to make them much stronger. That's what I'm telling you, saying, what does he eat before a race? Nothing, he fasts. You think he fasts just so? Training. So getting equipped to do the work of the ministry takes effort, say effort. And obedience to the word of the Lord. So not for the athlete to collapse or to put a pressure on him and go down there like him. It's to make him stronger and better so he could be equipped to win the race. To do what? Win the race. Gotta push aside everything else. Sometimes the operation, the pain is a process to bring healing without pain. In a natural operation, people suffer that in one part, they get the surgeon to cut it out. But the healing process is still a pain. Sometimes the discipline of the Lord sometimes feel bit harsh. What is necessary, say necessary. If you don't want to be a feeble, not physically only feeble, but in all areas of our life like a feeble person, not knowing what to do, how to do, when to do. We are at a loss, like a crossroad, know which one is the right way to go. So God has set his feast at appointed time before and at the appointment we have it. We didn't set it. And if you don't keep it, we'll not the benefit of a passport and do what it does. So we must not allow any little thing to hinder us. The Bible said we aside every weight that would hinder us. And instead of laying aside the weight that hinder us from being in the Lord's day on the Sunday, we put on more weights. Doing this and that and adding this and adding that and adding the other and get so busy that you put on more weights and that taking all the weight you have because keeping it back on the Sunday, you put them more to keep your foot away. Go to Mark chapter 5. Takes effort, you know. And then make up your mind. No, God said it, that is correct, that is what I have to do, it's I to benefit. Mark 25, I just put in there that kind of people, but it is a certain woman which had an issue of blood 12 years. Everybody's bleeding as a period, going flowing for 12 years straight. Can you imagine how big that woman would be? Suffered many things of many physicians, has spent all she had, get broke, nothing better, but God grows, all her money gone. Nothing about the physician, but sometimes what we need to be enough people is not the physician, is obedience to the word. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
They have the place. And when she heard of Jesus, came in the press behind the crowd, touched his garment, and what? For she said, look at her, she knew what he told her, she knew what the word said, she knew the 10 commandments. She knew who Jesus was, but she heard about it, somebody would have said. So you can't come to anybody you don't know. How shall they hear their preacher? How shall they preach except it be said? How shall they call in whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher? A preacher preached her. She heard the preacher. When she heard of Jesus, she came in the crowd behind, a big crowd. Bleeding for 12 years, that man will be almost strengthless. But the crowd on her knees. That's all the strength she could muster. Moving on her fours, all fours. For she said, you know, she knew what the word said. If I will only touch his clothes, I shall be made whole. And straightway the fountain of her blood was dried up. Immediately the hemorrhage stopped. And she felt in the body that she was healed of all of that plague. You know, plague come in, Plague right with locusts and all kind of plagues, you know. What's in the new one? COVID-19 now, they changed the name. Tiny up. Same coronavirus, you know. But I ain't coming over our household, you know. And Jesus felt the touch because he said, virtue went out from him. In Numbers, remember that's a very pressure also. It's in the box anyway. In Numbers 15, let's go there. Now woman can say, I don't give up already, I had the strike, I ain't going away now. Forget this Jesus, this church thing. Like that. Look at this here. This is pressure. This is what they wrap around Jairus' daughter when they said she was dead. This is what they wrap around. Jesus went in because everybody comes. Jesus put out all the unbelievers. That's go ahead. Jesus put away all the unbelievers. And he take the pressure and cover now. You know what he did? He brought her under the covering of God's word. And she became life come back into that girl. Verse 3, and the Lord spake unto Moses, speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments. Look at the fringes here, representing all the 613 commandments. Every one of them. So every time I walk in, and I was an Israelite, and I have on this, I remember what the Lord telling me about the commandments. It's swinging in front of me, I can't miss. I got to do wrong, and it's swinging in front of me, I say, what are you doing? You understand that? Through their generations, and they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue. Everything there, you have it, ribbon of blue. And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that you may look upon it, and remember all the commandments of the Lord, and do them, And that you seek that after your own heart or your own eyes, after which you used to go whoring away from God. That you may remember and do all my commandments and be holy unto the Lord. For he said, He is the Lord our God, who brought them out of the land of Egypt to be your God. And he said, He is the Lord your God. So this woman knew she was living a life outside of the word of God, going astray from God. And she decided to align her life with God's word. And the day she decided to do that, she knew what she had to do. Feed yourself, feed your family, feed your neighbors, feed the world, and they will know what to do. And when the time comes, they know what to do, and it will be well. It is well with my soul. She knew what to do. Could you imagine being 12, but she probably went on all fours, going through all between men's legs and it. But he said, excuse me, effort. She can stay home and waste away, broke, she can't spend no money by the doctor. What a need for the doctor, what a need for her own obedience to God's word. Some of us just like that. You understand? You there? Mark chapter 2. Reading from verse 1 again, Jesus entered Capernaum. After some days, it was known that he was in the house. Notice that people know Jesus in the town. They know everything about him. They know what he can do. And straightway, so immediately, just like that, eat it in haste, midnight, that angel pass and get out. After that, when they see the blood, move. Shoes on the foot, nobody look at the water, I can't find my shoes. I say, Allah, where are my shoes? No, you must be ready to move everything on. Any delays is trouble. So straightway, all immediately, many were gathered together in so much that there was no room to receive them. Then the place crowded. Not so much about the door, neither by the doorway. And he preached the word unto them. What he did? And they come unto him, bringing one sick of the palsy, which had borne of four men bringing their friend, sick of the palsy, crippled, swelling. And when they could not come near unto him for the crowd, they uncovered the roof. Look at that. And you want to stay home, and I ain't feeling good and stay home and expecting to happen. If it's something you want to do under the doctor. These guys went up on the roof and moved on the roof. 4 men lift him up like a forklift. Effort. Now when they broke it up, they laid on the bed when they sick of the palsy. And when Jesus saw their faith, look at that. He didn't say, why are you breaking down this man? Why are you breaking down Peter Magdalene for? Which one more important? But he saw their faith, he didn't stop them. It is just step aside and then come to the door. No. We see nothing when you move on your own and you're doing an exercise, your faith, no man can push their faith on you. You have to hear, you have to believe, receive and apply. That's what I told my wife to tell them all who feel, come. But that's for me to do. I can give you what I tell you what to do. That thing's for me to do. Sometimes I can lay hands and he said. But he said he will rebuke the devourer for our sakes. I can't rebuke him. For obedience. So when Jesus saw their faith, he said unto the sick of the palsy, son, your sins be forgiven you. But there was certain scribes, certain unreason there. Why does this man just speak blasphemy? Who can forgive sins only? But I tried to do effort. Say effort. Because they knew where Jesus was, that's where the healing is. That's where the word is. That's why your faith, they're exercising their faith because they heard what he could do and what he was doing. Luke chapter 19. Jesus again entered some other place again. Jesus entered and passed through Jericho. So Jesus entered and passed through Jericho, and behold, there was a man named Zacchaeus, which was the chief among the publicans, and he was rich. He was the chief tax collector, financial minister of finance. And he sought to see Jesus when he was, but he could not for the crowd because he was. But he said, if I go on, Jesus can't see me because all the people, they're like, I'm blind anymore. So he ran before and climbed up in the sycamore tree. So he then decided, well, I have to see the Jesus and maybe he can see me. So I'm going up. You see effort again. Yes. He didn't say I shot around, people didn't go see me and I go on. No. Nothing like that. Because he knew where Jesus was, that's where it was, the healing was. And he climbed over and said, I want to see him because Jesus was to pass that way. He heard Jesus coming through. And when Jesus came to the place, he looked up. And he saw and said, Zacchaeus, make haste, make haste. You see that word, make haste, come down immediately. And come down, for today I must abide at your house. What I'm trying to tell you, F1? No excuses. Your condition keeping you back. You need the condition, that's why you should be here. So you can help your household. You can help your neighbor. Mark chapter 4. Mark 4. Then Jesus led up to this, in the spirit in the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. He was led to be tempted of the devil as a set up thing by God. Just like Israel. God tested the faith many times over. He will test our faith many times over. But He will not allow us to go through that one be able to bear. And when the tempter came to him, he said, if you be Son of God, command that these stones be made bread. Since you are the Son of God, and if me, since you are the Son of God, you can do that by your authority. Command these stones to be made bread. But Jesus answered, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the God. And what Jesus was telling the devil, you didn't send me. I don't have to listen to you. You understand that? Who sent him in the wilderness? The devil tell him, come, and the Spirit led him. So you don't listen to the Spirit. And the Spirit uses what? God's word. Then the devil take him up in the holy city and set him on a pinnacle of the temple. And say to him, if you, since you are the Son of God, cast yourself down, for it is written, He shall give His angels charge concerning you, and in their hand they shall bear you up, lest at any time you dash your foot against. That's correct in Psalm. But he added to God's word. But again, Jesus said what? Jesus said, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. Satan wanted to tempt the Lord thy God. Jesus was led by the Spirit, not by the devil, to be tested by the devil. So you don't have to listen to the devil. You have to overcome the devil. And he done that by written the word of by the what? Written word of God. Again, the devil take up with an exceeding high mountain. Go up on Calvary, go up on Mount St. Benedict, and you can look over all the plains. And anything you see, I will give it to you. If it's just bow, the devil say bow to it. And he showed him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory. And that's why I said, what are people doing today? Putting aside God's word to build their own kingdom, build their own agenda, build their own thing, and leaving God out, they're making a mistake. Because that's the devil temptation. If you go to this class and you take this course and you do that, you become that. That's exactly what he's trying on Jesus there. You understand that? I hope you're listening, you know. So all these things I'll give to you if you just fall down and worship. Right now, who's doing that? They're worshiping the devil. They're under the very devil. They never show them something to increase this and increase that and increase that, and put on that increase in the word and increase in the advance in the word and increase in the church and advance in the church, and that's where they are. Can't compromise. And God said Moses, make sure you don't neglect that you have to warn the people, you know. Then said Jesus unto them, get thee hence. Get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, him only shalt thou serve. And the devil leaveth him. And the angels came and ministered unto Jesus. So I want you to know everything is effort, but to overcome, it is written. If you don't go the written word and you stay home and you do this and do that, not knocking over anybody, but I'm telling you, don't let Satan set your agenda. We are under the influence and the might and power and authority of the Holy Spirit. And if you have office hours, you can't go outside office hours and get business done. It must be within the authorized office hours. And if God had God's feast and God's day, and He said this time and then on this day, we can do time. And He said, make sure 3 times a year. 3 times a year. A feast is like a festival. And if you check the Greek and you check the Hebrew, like if you're giddy, you know, like you're under some kind of supernatural influence. Alcohol will make you like that, but the wrong spirit. But once you come under the influence of the Holy Spirit, you are so empowered by Him, strongly influenced by the Holy Spirit. And this is what happens like a festival in the Lord's Day today. When you under the influence of the Holy Spirit, you are not the same again. Change takes place. So in Jesus' time, they had to keep the feast, and today, those feasts always had to participate. So established participation and gathering of His church, of His people. Now I'm going to preach in my Bible here. I'm going to read from Acts 27. And upon the first day of the week, when the disciples came together to break bread, upon which day? The first day of the week. They will tell you, well, Jesus kept the Sabbath. Yes, He had to keep it because He had to fulfill it for us. 1 Corinthians 16 and 2, you can write them down. Not knocking anybody, condemning them. Again, upon the first day of the week, let every one of you lay by Him in stores. God hath prospered them. Let there be no gatherings when I come upon the first day of the week. Which we bless is not the communion of the blood of Christ. The bread which we break is not the communion of the body of Christ. Is that by the word of the Lord? That we break in the word now? The bread of life. So life can flow in and through us. To observe a holy day, feast of the Lord like a victim, like a sacrifice. But all the feasts are a victim and a sacrifice. Jesus was the sacrifice, the animal was the sacrifice, and the victim was. Today we have to present our bodies as what? A living sacrifice, will accept and holy unto the Lord, and only our reasonable service. That's the sacrifice we have to make today. On the holy day, on the holiday, on the Lord's day, a living sacrifice, present your body, spirit, soul and body coming. But we are three in one. And the holy solemn feast of the Lord, which is His holy day. We could say